Hello, thank you very much for visiting my channel. I'm Julia. I am a consultant and advisor about everything concerning personal types of insurance, especially life and disability insurance. We have already spoken a little bit, discussed protection, elementary protection of income with life insurance in case someone passes away and needs to protect their family. However, today I would like to discuss another very important topic of protection, and this concerns your income. Income that you may lose in case you're disabled. What is disability? Many of us think that disability is someone without legs in a wheelchair, visually impaired, someone who does not hear. There are problems and the person is not 100%. But 100% means that everything works, but we can have problems of other kind. Let's see what are the major causes of disability. Let me read that to you. Musculoskeletal or connection tissue problems disorders, 28.5%. That means someone with bad back, with sciatica, with arthritis would be considered disabled because they cannot function and work 100% of the time, if not at all. Cancer, 14.6%. People who get cancer, their life changes overnight. They have to have a surgery, go for treatment, take chemotherapy. They become weaker. They have to sleep a lot. Work is probably the last thing is on their mind. So cancer is a disability. Injuries and poisoning, 10%. Mental disorders, 9%. Someone with a major depression who is unable to focus and stays in bed all day, desperate and wanting to end their life, they are not a worker, they're disabled. Cardiovascular, circulatory diseases. Haven't we heard about someone who had a stroke and was partially paralyzed, or someone who had a heart surgery, heart disease, neurological disorders? All those problems can cause us not only health destruction, but also financial destruction. What do I mean? When we're totally healthy, most of us are willing and are working. We're working in a profession that we chose or we're suitable for based on our education or our skills. However, if we're disabled, we stop receiving income that comes from that occupation. If a programmer, say 35-year-old male, healthy male, non-smoker, makes $100,000 a year being a programmer, and suddenly he hurt his back or he has a major sciatica problem, he's unable to sit in his chair for more than 2 hours per day, there is a problem. And what is the problem? He will get fired eventually because he's unable to perform duties of his occupation. Possibly his company will take care of him for some time. However, if there is no formal insurance protecting his income in place, his income will stop. However, his bills will not stop. And eventually, quite quickly, possibly, he will find in a situation where he's not getting any income. He still has to pay the same amount, even if not more, of expenses. And he's depleting his savings. He is depleting his investment accounts. The next, he may be able to be forced out of the home. You may say, oh, he's eligible for Social Security. That's not the fact, because in order to be eligible for Social Security disability, SSDI, you have to work 40 quarters, 40 credits in the United States and pay taxes. Not everybody have done that. And even if you do qualify for Social Security disability, which is extremely hard to do because over 65% of initial claims get declined. Very difficult to be considered disabled by Social Security. Average size of the payment from Social Security is just slightly over $1,000. Are you able to live on $1,000 if previously you were making $5,000, $7,000, $9,000 a month or more? Probably not. So this brings us to the question, how can we protect ourselves from such a devastating event? If that man who stopped working at 35 remains disabled for the rest of his working age till age 65, even without any adjustments for raises, for investments he could have made with his money, his economic loss over this time is $3.5 million. Isn't that the most important asset that this man has, or every one of us have? We need to protect it. So what are the ways of protecting it? If you're working for a company, it's very nice if they offer you some kind of disability insurance, group disability insurance, where your income will be covered up to 60% of your total compensation, excluding bonuses, possibly with some kind of a cap. If you're working for the business that is not offering this kind of benefit and you do not have an individual protection, most likely you will suffer if you're disabled. So one of the most economical and efficient ways of protecting your income, even though of course it will cost money, which many people do not like because they believe that they will never get disabled, it's never going to happen to them, is with the personal disability insurance policy. It is sold by a few insurance companies, just a few good companies left that are in this business. For white collar occupation, to name a few, would be Guardian, Mass Mutual, Northwestern Mutual, Principal. They sell good products that are insuring you in your own occupation, meaning if you're unable to perform duties of your own profession, for example, a dental surgeon is unable to perform dental surgery because he has some shaking and trembling all of a sudden due to some damage to the ligaments, he will be considered disabled by that insurance company with his policy, and he will be entitled to collecting nearly 60% of his pre-disability income, yet he's still able to work in the other occupation and collect both of those. That's a very beautiful setup for someone in a very professional occupation, which requires extreme skill. Accountants, lawyers, dentists, surgeons, many occupations are insured for own occupation. Then there are professions which are more like blue collar, crane operator, Uber driver, truck driver, all kinds of professions. They're insured by different companies which are specialized in those kind of risks. So I will not go deeply into how those policies are structured, but the main principle is that they're replacing your income that you lost when you are unable to work. Suddenly you are unable to work, and they replace up to 60% of your pre-disability income if they're structured correctly. For some professions, you can choose be covered for a long period of time, up to age 70 or longer, but certain professions have limitations. The cost and the type of policy you will get and the company you have to go with will depend on your profession, your age, your health. You know, basically, these are the main important factors that would determine the type of insurance, the place where you buy it, whether you're entitled to get this insurance, because not everyone, it's a very complicated product and much riskier in the eyes of the insurance company than life insurance. Therefore, not everyone who is willing to get the coverage will get the coverage, but hopefully they will find other ways to get certain degree of protection, because staying without protection meaning in case of a disability, you will be not able to maintain your current lifestyle, your family will be suffering, most likely your marital relationship will suffer because with all due respect, when the person stops working and he was the centerpiece of the family, bringing income, it creates both psychological and financial strain on that family. So in order to avoid it, talk to your financial advisor who sold you a disability life insurance previously, and discuss what to do, how to protect yourself in case of a disability. Or you can come to me. I will be very happy to consult to you and explain, analyze your situation, tell you more in detail about this kind of protection. Please do not disregard this very important risk. It's a more important thing than to protecting your car, your jewels, your house, or because these are material things that can be replaced, but your ability to make money going forward for years to come, unless you find the replacement for that income, you will be in a very serious trouble. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed and found something useful. Let's meet again. Thank you.